Welcome back, guys. Come take a walk with me as I discuss some of the timepieces that stood out to me at the 2024 Watches and Wonders. Now, some of you guys may know that I love vintage for many reasons, and I'm not so much of a modern watch guy, but that doesn't mean that I can't appreciate some of these beautiful modern pieces. So before we get into the video, guys, remember to give it a like, share it, and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And now, let's get into the video. Now, I'm only going to be pointing out models from two watch brands, and I'm going to make a statement right now, and I want you guys to comment down below and let me know if you agree or disagree. And the statement is that Tudor did better than Rolex this 2024 Watches and Wonders. The watches that Tudor released were way better than Rolex. Comment down below and let me know if you agree or disagree. And if you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Now, with my statement, I might sound crazy to some people because you guys do know that Rolex is the parent and superior watch brand in comparison to Tudor. But in my opinion, guys, this year, Tudor did way better than Rolex. Now, my opinion is totally subjective, so I expect you guys to have different opinions. So comment down below and let me know what you guys think. So now for the first watch, and I'm gonna start with Tudor. The first watch that stood out to me, and I think it's like the #1 watch, was the Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT. Tudor is heading in the right direction in my opinion. This timepiece is just giving vintage vibes. And I was glad to see that Federico from Federico Talks Watches agreed with my similar view.
It is one specific watch that put Tudor on the winners list, and it's rare that one watch is enough to get you on the list, and that is the Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT. What can we say? The Tudor Black Bay 58 was a huge hit, the GMT was a huge hit, and now they made the GMT in the 58 case, and this is going to sell like hotcakes. I predict it's going to be one of the best-selling watches for both Tudor and Del Rey watch in the upcoming year. I love the new bezel color. I love that red. It's kind of got vintage vibes. But more importantly, people have been clamoring for a smaller GMT, and the Tudor Black...
That Tudor is heading in the right direction, and this design, gives off, vintage vibes. From the 39mm size, going down from 41 from the previous Tudor GMT, I believe was the best move. I think 39mm is just that sweet spot. I mean, they could have made it 40, but 39 to me is just perfect. With a price tag of $4,600, I think is very approachable for most people. If you compare it to a Rolex GMT, like a Rolex Batman or any other, the Pepsi, the Coke, any Rolex GMT is way too much in comparison to this. For what you're getting with this timepiece is definitely worth it. It's a bargain. The feature that really stood out on this timepiece for me is the bezel. That black and burgundy colored bezel is absolutely perfect. I wish Rolex did it. I mean, in a way, Rolex did when they, had the GMT root beer, but this color is just different. It's just unique. And like I mentioned previously, it's giving like a vintage vibe. And I wish I could see it in person. From the pictures, the watch looked beautiful. So I can't wait to get one in my hands to actually see how it looks in person. If any one of you guys saw this watch in person yet, comment down below and let me know what you guys think. The next watch is the Tudor Black Bay Submariner at 51mm. This watch again is giving me vintage vibes. It's beautiful. And if you put it side by side with a Rolex Submariner, I'm gonna struggle to choose which one I would want to enjoy. I'm not lying with you guys that I would actually struggle in choosing between the Tudor and the Rolex. Now, the only thing, literally the only thing that's gonna make me struggle is the Rolex name, and knowing that Rolex is the more prestigious and the parent and superior watch brand. That's the only thing. If you could swap the Rolex name with Tudor, I would choose the same watch, because if that even makes sense. But my whole point is that the Tudor Black Bay at 41mm is better than the Rolex Submariner. I no longer look at the Tudor Sub as the watch that you pick just because you couldn't afford the Rolex Submariner. I think I would look at somebody wearing a Tudor Black Bay as someone that's smart. Maybe you were on a budget. Who cares though? Because if I saw that on your wrist and I saw someone else with a Rolex Submariner, I won't think any lower of you. I'll just be like, this person just has really good taste. I think at a price tag of $4,500 is an absolute steal. This Tudor Black Bay is amazing. The build quality of this and the previous Tudor that I mentioned have amazing build quality. From the bracelet to the case to the movement. The bracelet, you could have different options. You could have the Jubilee style bracelet, you could have the rubber, and you could have the oyster style bracelet, which I think is amazing that Tudor gives you guys these many varieties of choices. The movement has a power reserve of 70 hours, which I believe is amazing. It's also COSC certified and anti-magnetic. So didn't cut any corners when it came to this movement. Now for Rolex. The Rolex that stood out to me, and it's actually at the top of the Rolex category, is the Rolex GMT 126710 GRNR, I believe, at 40 millimeters in size. Now this timepiece costs around $10,700, which is way more than the Tudor Black Bay 58 GMT that I mentioned before. Now, if you put them side by side, still, I'm gonna have a difficult time choosing which one, I would prefer. But anyways, the thing that stood out to me with this Rolex GMT Master 2 is the bezel. With that black and gray bezel, guys, to me, I think it's subtle, but still eye-catching. And in my opinion, and I want you guys to comment down below and let me know if you agree or disagree, that this GMT Master with this bezel is more of a Batman than the actual Batman with the black and blue bezel. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. So out of all the Rolex GMTs, this is the one that stood out to me the most. This is the one that I would choose if I had to pick. Because like I said, the color of the bezel is very subtle. All of the other GMTs just pop and just stand out a little bit too much that you can't just wear with anything. The Pepsi has the red and blue, the Sprite, the Hulk is green. It's just a little bit too much. The Batman has the black, the blue. But this, it does have color, but it's subtle. And I'm a subtle type of guy. I like that the green is subtle on this timepiece with the green GMT hand and the green GMT Master 2 on the dial. And I don't know, something tells me that this timepiece, let's say 40, 50 years from now when it becomes vintage, would be a sought after Rolex GMT. Because if you guys know, the Rolex Submariner red with the red on the dial, that's a sought after Rolex watch. So I think this with the green on the dial would be, or eventually be, a sought after Rolex watch. Now the last watch that stood out to me that Rolex launched in this Watches and Wonders 2024 is the Rolex Day-Date 40 with the mother of pearl dial. Now, I know some of you guys may not know this, that the Rolex Day-Date is Rolex's flagship model. Some of you guys may think, no, it's a Submariner or it's the GMTs and anything. No, guys. When you think of Rolex, the Rolex Day-Date President is their flagship watch. This timepiece in white gold with a 40 millimeter case is close to being perfect for me. The only thing though that I wish they would have done is have it in a 36 millimeter size case, which I believe is the classic size for the Rolex Day-Date. I must say though that the mother of pearl dial does give a little bit of feminine vibe, and also having the 10 diamond stones on the dial is very feminine, but I think some guys could pull it off. I'm not the biggest fan of diamonds, but if they're factory, I'll let it slide. And one more thing I have to say about diamonds too is that the only aftermarket piece on a watch that I think is okay is if you put a diamond bezel. So with this timepiece with the fluted bezel, you can just pop it off and replace it with an aftermarket diamond bezel. The one thing that's a big no-no in my eyes is replacing the dial. So if you pick this timepiece and you're a diamond person, you could flood it out by putting a diamond bezel on it, and you'll be okay in the watch community. Guys, I'm going to leave the video here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I want you guys to comment down below and let me know which watches stood out to you at this 2024 Watches and Wonders. It doesn't have to be Rolex and Tudor. It could be any other watch brand. Just comment down below and let me know which watches stood out to you that you guys are hoping to pick up when they're available at the ADs. Thanks for watching again, guys. Give the video a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And also turn your post notification on so you can know whenever I post a video. And now, guys, stay tuned for some more videos.